Hello, welcome to Advanced A&P. 806-179 is your course number. My name is Kevin Yoakum, and I'll be your instructor this semester. This is my email address, yoakumk@gtc.edu. If you ever need anything, please feel free to email. I respond very quickly, generally. So I just want to give you a brief tour of your Blackboard shell and go through a few of the basics of textbook and materials, as well as just some of the assignments and exams and everything that you need to be successful in the course. So your landing spot is always going to be the announcements and home page. So all of your announcements will be collected, if you will, throughout the semester here on this page, but you'll also receive emails from me with the exact announcements. So you probably won't spend much time on this landing page. So the next tab that you see is the syllabus and instructor info tab. So if you click that, you're going to see my information. My office is located in the Elkhorn North building, E221. That's kind of near, just a little bit, it's kind of by the bathrooms and the vending machines, kind of near the bookstore, in that area. And again, here's my email address. In my phone, you can certainly call and leave a voicemail if you need to. I do receive those voicemails through my email. I'm not at my office that terribly much, so the best way to reach me generally is through email. I do have a link to my Zoom room, so if you need to meet or if we meet as a group for any reason in class or during office hours or even outside of office hours, if what I have, which are here, Tuesdays 10 to 11:30, and then 2 to 2:30, and then Fridays 12:30 to 1:30. If those times aren't going to work for you and you need to meet me in Zoom or at my office, just send me an email. We'll make it work. The other thing that you'll find, or the other link that you'll find on the syllabus and instructor info, is the course syllabus tab. So if you click that, you'll be taken away from Blackboard and into a Google Doc. Now, all of my Google Docs are view only. So if you want this, well, I mean, you can print it right from here if you need to. Not really applicable to the syllabus, but some of your assignments are going to be, or all of them are going to be, in Google Docs. And so when you want to make a copy for yourself to be able to type into, you simply just come over to File and then go to Download. And then you can download it as a Word doc. You can also make a copy in Google Docs that will basically just make an exact replica of whatever the document is in Google Docs, but it's your own that you can edit and share, etc. So anyway, if you have, I have videos in our course YouTube playlist, which I'll get into in a few minutes. You can watch a video on how to make a copy in Google Docs. So anyhow, if you have questions, just let me know. And again, the key thing with a Google Doc, if you do submit any of your work as a Google Doc, which is perfectly fine, you want to remember to click the share button and then come down here once that window opens, and you want to make sure it says anyone with the link. It defaults to restricted. So this is what it looks like generally. So if you send this link to me with your homework, I won't be able to read it, and then I'll just have to request access, which is fine. It's still another step that can be avoided on the front end. If you simply go to general access, hit the little down caret drop arrow there and go to anyone with the link, and then hit done. So then that way, when you do share your homework in Blackboard with me, I'll be able to read it. So anyway, here's your course syllabus. You're going to want to take a peek through that. There's nothing out of the ordinary in there that is going to be that jaw dropping. So, but I do want you to know that some links to your textbooks, which are also in Blackboard, some information regarding the class location, the course calendar link is in here. And probably most importantly for most students is how am I going to get assessed? So you'll also find that in there too. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time in the syllabus. On the first day of class, we'll certainly go through it together a little bit. But again, you'll want to watch the video and go through the syllabus before we meet. So anyhow, it'll have some of the basic info, meeting dates and times, and what type of delivery method, where we are meeting. Again, my email address, there's a link to my Zoom room there as well, my office hours. There's a short description of what Advanced A&P is all about. And again, you know, all of you have had general A&P, so you've seen a syllabus before, and you've seen one that probably looked a lot like this. So I'm not going to belabor the point. We do have links to the textbooks and the virtual lab. So again, these are in Blackboard as well. So I'll show you those. You don't have to come to the syllabus every time you want to open the textbook. But anyway, those are in there. The course outcome summary, that's the state of Wisconsin document that tells us what our objectives are, basically a breakdown of everything we do in this course. So if you do want to take a look at that, you certainly can. I'll open it up so you can see, you know, if, like I said, said to other groups that, you know, if you have a little late night insomnia and you're struggling falling to sleep, you can breeze through this a little bit. You may not get through the first couple competencies reading through that before you're fast asleep. So, but anyway, or you could count sheep. But that's the course outcome summary given to us by the state of Wisconsin. And then there are some other general basics in here. Essential career competencies. Again, you're getting technical knowledge, applicable knowledge in this course. So everything that you're going to be doing is going to be relevant to what you're going to do in the healthcare field. So, and certainly in your future nursing courses or whatever allied health profession you're going into. There are a few other things there. The tuition refund policy. That has to do with the business office and financial aid. So if you have questions about that, you certainly want to reach out to them. Course section requirements and policies. So this has my basic attendance policies and participation, my grading policy. First of all, this is a hybrid structured course. And what that means is we're required to meet less than 50% of the course hours. So this particular course is a lab course. It's a 4 credit hour course. So it's technically, we would meet between 4 and 5 hours a week if this was a face-to-face or traditional course. This is not a traditional course. This is generally viewed as an online course with a little bit of face-to-face interaction, potentially with labs or with other case study discussions. But all of the lecture components, I have videos for, so you'll want to watch those at your leisure. I don't have any strict requirements as far as attendance goes face to face. My only requirement is that you log into Blackboard to our course at least once a week. I do grading anywhere between 1 and 3 days a week, depending. So I'm in Blackboard at least once a week in your grade book, and I can see how often you log in and some of those details. So if I see that you haven't logged in for 10 days or a couple of weeks, I'm going to reach out and make sure everything's going okay. Now, having said that, I don't drop students due to attendance, except in that first week to 10 days. So really the first 10 days are the most crucial uh, parts as far as you're concerned and I'm concerned with your attendance. So there's a college policy, and in fact, it's a federal policy regarding attendance within those first 2 weeks. If you don't attend at all, meaning you never log in, you never submit even a pad, one little assignment, the Padlets, I'll show you, very short and sweet. If you don't do anything and you don't log in, then I'm required to drop you from the course. And again, that rarely happens, but it does. And I think if that does happen, I don't think I don't know what the billing and money aspect is, but you don't receive a grade or anything. It's like you never attended. So your financial aid, if you took any out, would get sent back and all of that good stuff. So anyway, attendance, I'm very lenient on attendance because this course is set up to be at your own pace and completed online. So all of your exams, all of your Padlet assignments and quizzes, your case study assignments, your labs, all of that is virtual. It's all done through Blackboard. I do have dates that are kind of checkpoints that I would recommend that you kind of keep on top of. But again, I don't penalize for late work. I really just have one specific date that you want to be aware of, and that's the very last date of the course. So for us, for any of you, it's going to be in your syllabus at the top. So it tells when the course end date is. So for this particular one syllabus that I have up, the end date is December 7th. And so that for me is when everything is due. I have to submit the grades within 48 hours of that date. So by December 9th, I have to submit final grades. Now, so again, let me reiterate that everything is due, and we'll talk about what you have to do. All of that has to be done by December 7th. That gives you plenty of time. It gives you 3 months to do these checkoffs that I have in Blackboard. Now, again, attendance, we're going to meet on the first day of class. We're going to discuss some of what I'm discussing here. We'll also discuss a few other items of interest and any concerns that you might have, and go through any questions as well. From that point, after next week, after our first meeting, we'll figure out how often, if at all, we need to meet again. In the past, historically, we meet on the first day, and again, everything is in Blackboard, so everybody can have access and work at their own pace. Again, some students complete the course within 6-7 weeks. Other students completed incrementally week by week by week, and by week 14, around December 7th or so, everything is done. So I do want to mention as well that as soon as this is new, we have a new on our end, we have a new input for grading, for final grades to the registrar, and I'm able to give you a final grade to the registrar as soon as you complete all of the work. So, or what, as much work as if you need a B for the course, once you get to the B level with your work, you can email me and say, I'm at a B, or I'm at an A, I'm done with the course, or I've done as much as I want to do, I'm good with what grade I have, go ahead and submit it. I can do that anytime throughout the semester. So if you want your final grade submitted to the registrar and calculated into your GPA, maybe you need to take the TEAS exam, or maybe you're prepping for something else, or maybe you just you know as well as I do, in a fall semester, by Halloween, Thanksgiving, in heading toward the end of the, we basically, the class ends a week after Thanksgiving break. So, but really, come October, Halloween time, up to the end of the semester, it gets really busy, it gets really hectic. There's a lot going on. So really, I highly recommend that you start now as soon as possible, and start getting your checkoffs done for the course. I have all of that listed. And then from there, as soon as you're done with that, I'll be grading, a few times a week. So I'll be able to see where you are. But I mean, heck yeah, as soon as you get to whatever points you feel that you need to get the grade you need, let me know, or I'll reach out to you and say, hey, this is where you're at, and I can submit your grade to the registrar at any point. I don't have to wait till December 7th anymore, or December 9th is when they're due. So anyway, just a little extra kind of maybe perk or incentive for being able to work at your own pace, for having an online hybrid kind of course instead of a strict face-to-face course. So anyway, so traditionally, with these types of hybrids, that's how it's worked. Students are very successful with the model that I have developed in Blackboard. And again, if you need to meet with me in Zoom, or we need to discuss anything, I'm more than willing to do that. So anyway, that's the attendance policy. Just make sure you get everything in, or as much as you need to get in, by December 7th. And if you do get everything in before then, I will submit your final grade, and you're done. You can kick back and relax. I mean, wouldn't that be cool to be done by like October, by Halloween? By the time Halloween rolls around, you're done with the course. You don't have to do, you're good. So, and you even have a grade in your permanent records. So that's a good thing. So, and good incentive. So generally students spend, 5, maybe 5 up to 10 hours a week, depending. The first unit or two, you're getting your feet wet a little bit, you're getting back in the groove. They're a little more, maybe they might take a little more time, but generally, there's a nice pattern that you'll establish. And again, I'll go through what that means in just a second. So my course grading policy is here. This is the breakdown for the different ranges: A minus, B plus, etc. The whole course is at a 1,200 points. So I have the range for the A's. You need around 1,116 or so to have a solid A, 1050 to 1115 for an A minus, and so on down the line. I think generally all of you need to be in that B range or so. So, if you're pretty close, I mean, if you're hovering around the low 80s, 80, 81, I mean, and and you've been keeping up with your work, and generally you're going to be fine. So but anyway, as a department, we decided a few semesters ago to integrate plus and minus systems. So but anyway, I think most of you need to be in the B range, so try to get above an 80%. If you're going for the B. If you're going for that A, try and get above a 90%. All right, so anyway, just that's a side note there. No, here we go. Here are the assessments. This is what you need to do throughout the semester. And again, everything's in Blackboard. I'll go through that in just a second. You have 4 categories of items, and within each category, you have 12 little ditties to do. So that gives you roughly 48 or so little checkoffs to do. And again, some students get these done in 5, 6, 7 weeks. So it is doable. I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm just saying it's possible. Everything is open. The whole course is available to you right now. So you can go in any order you want. You don't even have to do unit 1 first if you don't want to. You can go into unit 12, work your way backwards. Maybe you like digestive system and nutrition. You can go into unit 10. So anyway, you can work at your own pace. You can work it in whatever order you feel best is going to work for you. So so anyway, here are the 4 items that you'll do. You're going to do 12 Padlet. little entries along with little one question, kind of a Likert scale, which is a satisfaction survey basically with each Padlet. That's how it registers in Blackboard that you've completed your Padlet. So there's kind of a little two-step process for getting credit for those. And then you'll have a case study for each unit. And again, there are 12 units. So you're going to have a Padlet for each unit, a case study for each unit. And again, these are available in Blackboard. I have videos that go through these as well. And those will be short, little short answer documents that you'll put in the Dropbox. For the lab portion, we do a virtual lab setup, so you'll need to get the McGraw-Hill Connect subscription if you haven't already. There are going to be 16 labs, but they're condensed into 12 units. So a couple units have 2 short labs instead of one kind of medium lab or longer lab. And then lastly, you're going to have an exam for each unit. There are 40 multiple choice questions. There is a timer. I think I have it set for like 2 hours for 40 questions. You can go over that. It doesn't close you out or disable you once you get to 2 hours. At about an hour and 50 minutes or so, maybe 40 hour and 45, hour and 50, hour and 55, you'll get these 5-minute kind of notifications or alarms saying you have 5 minutes left or whatever. Do you want to continue with the test? And if you do, just hit yes. I do want to continue. No problem. Just keep going. It's no penalties or anything. Heck, you could take 4 or 5 hours to do an exam if you want. There's no penalty for that. The other thing is you can take these exams unlimited times. So the questions are from a test bank, and some of the test banks are a little bigger than others. So you'll if you take an exam more than once, so you take it the second time, you might have some different questions. So but feel free to take the exams as many times as you want. Your highest score is what gets recorded in Blackboard. I mean, I've had students take each exam 3-4 times. Just again, they're a lot like what you'd see in an NCLEX or in some of your other T's or other standardized licensure exams that you may have to take. So anyway, very smooth sailing there. Here are a couple key dates regarding maybe like midterms and withdraws and all that good stuff. So if you choose, you've got 2 days. Today's the 4th. You've got 2 days. If you decide you don't want to take the course, you can drop it and get 100% refund. And then generally, again, you get about it looks like about 8 days. So if you stay in it the first week or 8 days and you decide that, you know what, or something comes up and you can't do it, 80%, and so on down the line. Now, after, and the other thing is too, again, what's called a census date, which is September 19th. So really, again, you have about 10, 12 days, roughly 2 weeks to log into Blackboard, submit an assignment. You need to do something within the first basically 2 weeks, because if you haven't logged into Blackboard by September 19th, then I have to go in and withdraw you from the class or drop you from the class. But again, that's a federal regulation. So anyway, it doesn't affect your financial aid, I don't think. Again, your business with the business office and how you're paying and like that's not my department. So I know very little about it other than what you see here. So again, if you have questions about anything like that, you'll have to contact your advisor or someone in the financial aid or business office. So anyway, if you haven't logged in by the 19th, then I have to drop you. And then a week or so later, between the 23rd and the 29th or so, that's another drop period. So again, if you've been logging in, but something comes up, you let me know and I can also drop you in that period. But generally, I don't do much during the drop period. Most students that are not going to succeed in the course, we usually know within the first 2 weeks if they haven't logged in at all, or done anything in Blackboard, then that's when we have to drop them. After that, it's really kind of up to you what happens. Now, there is another major date right here, November 16th. That's pretty far out, but say between now and November 16th, you've done some work, you've been, you've been logging in, and then something happens in October and you just can't finish the course. You can withdraw from the course with on your transcript. It's called a W. So you don't get it doesn't affect your grade point average. It doesn't really affect your financial aid if you do financial aid long term. Now, if you're withdrawing from classes every single semester, those are considered attempted points. And so there is, once you credits completed versus credit attempted gets kind of hairy if you are withdrawing from courses a lot. It sends kind of a red flag. However, things happen in our lives, and sometimes we have to withdraw from a course. Again, you can do that all on your end of things, and I'll send out a reminder if I see that because by November 16th, there's only about 3.5 weeks left in the semester. So if you're kind of sitting at a couple hundred points out of 1,200, with only a couple weeks left, I'm going to send out an email and maybe recommend that you think about withdrawing, because if you don't withdraw and then you don't complete the work and you end up in the D or F range, then that grade is what you would receive in your transcripts. And it's much better for everybody, your financial aid, your GPA. It's much better to withdraw from a course than to get an F or a D. We don't want either of those to happen. I'll do everything in my power to ensure that you have the opportunities to complete the course and get the grade that you need. So anyway, these dates and parameters and rules and they exist because for exceptions, so generally speaking, students don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Okay, so anyway, but I do put it in there, and I do want you to be aware that I do keep track of more than just are you doing work, but also are you logging in, and how are you doing with accumulating your points. Midterm, so October 21st is when I submit midterm grades. Just kind of a marker again, because everybody generally gets A's at midterm, because all of you may be working kind of at a different pace. So generally by October 21st, you'd want to be roughly halfway through the course. It's the midterm. So you'd want to be around between 500 and 600 points accumulated by then. But again, I've had students that are sitting at 200 or 300 at midterm. We talk about it and they're fine. So they end up getting an A or B or whatever it is they need. So it's just a marker. It's not, anyway. So course calendar. This is generally, and again, this is in your syllabus, but I also put a link with maybe a few more specifics. So you can click on that, this course section calendar link. But this just shows how the units are set up and what each unit entails. So we go through the nervous system the first couple of weeks, and then endocrine, and then some cellular metabolism. So that's your first kind of module and your first 3 units. So and so on and so forth. Again, I do have I got a typo in there. I do have sorry about this. Let me fix this. Just take a quick second here. There we go. Now I do have dates on here. You can see date ranges. Again, these are just guide markers. These aren't due dates. So remember, the final due date really is going to be, again, I have to have grades in by December 9th around midnight. So technically you have until December 9th, but try to have everything done well before that, because you have the opportunity to do that. Everything's available. All right. So, oh, and you can access if you click course calendar and then click that. And sure enough, you see those typos are still in there. I'm not going to go through and fix those now. But anyway, it's the same calendar. This just kind of breaks down maybe a little more detail regarding some of the course labs and different things like that. But anyway, that's that for the syllabus. Let's keep her moving. There's a few more things we need to discuss. Zoom office link. If we do need to meet in Zoom, just click that and it'll open you up to a meeting. Textbook info. Again, we discussed this a little bit in the syllabus, but this tab has some more detail about your textbooks. Here's the hyperlink to OpenStax. So if you click that, it'll take you out. We're using the second edition. It's not much different than the first edition, but you can access OpenStax that way. Some students prefer a print copy. So if you click order a print copy, I think you can get them, first of all, you can get them through the bookstore at the college. Even if it's the first edition, that's fine too. The first edition and second edition are not, there's not much difference. So if you find a first edition on Amazon or eBay, you can pick that up for 30, 40 bucks maybe if you, again, prefer a hard copy. All of our libraries have different A&P textbooks and maybe OpenStax too, but A&P is not much different from textbook to textbook. So again, Kevin Patton, Patton, that's one I recommend. I know our library has those, so you can check those out if you'd like. Or you can even buy an older edition of an A&P book on Amazon or eBay for potentially like 10 or 15 bucks. So anyway, this is an e-text, so you can view it that way. And I think in general A&P, if you took it at Gateway, you would have had that same text. And again, I don't know, it depends on what instructor you had, and it also depends on you, how much use you got out of it. McGraw-Hill Connect, we're not using, if you took A&P, again, at Gateway, generally A&P, you would have had visible body. We don't do anything with visible body this semester. However, you still have access for live to all of the apps that are associated with visible body. And there is a physiology app in there that has some good visuals that you may find helpful. All right, so the McGraw-Hill Connect, there's a link there that'll take you to attaining access. So you do your login info there. If you haven't purchased it, this will give you the opportunity to purchase it through McGraw-Hill. If you purchase the code from the bookstore, this will also give you an opportunity to enter in that code. So there are details in here about that as well. So you can read through those in order to get McGraw-Hill access. I do have hyperlinks to go right to the McGraw-Hill Connect. So in the future, you can just click this and it'll take you right out to McGraw-Hill labs. Same with OpenStax. If you click that link, it'll take you right out to OpenStax. Okay. So anyway, those links are there. Now, Padlet, that's kind of your first assignment that you're going to do or potentially do. I have a link for that. You can click on that as well. Now, we are advanced A&P, so we do the blue ones. The general A&Ps are the green. So again, you can see I have them all broken down. They're going backwards 12 to 1, but you can click on competency 1 if you're doing the nervous system, and it'll open up a Padlet here. And then from this spot, you don't have to, but you can open a Padlet account. So or register for a Padlet account. It's free. And so you can see how some of these say anonymous up here. So these anonymous ones didn't open a Padlet account, and that's okay with me, but they did put their name somewhere in their entry. So if you do open a Padlet account, it'll have your name with your entry. So I think, again, you guys have a lot of different accounts, and so, whatever. So, oh gosh, another account. You don't have to open an account. You can post anonymously, but put your name in your post, whether in the subject line or at the very end. And again, you can see, Julie Sheldon, she had an account, so that's why her name appears in that line. Now, here's anonymous over here, another example. You can see anonymous. So she didn't open an account, but she put her name at the end, Kelly Nackreiner. So there you go. One or the other, either way, make sure you know who you are. Now, when you don't, the other thing about Padlet board, you're not required to post under every single video. Just pick one and do a post under the video. Each of these have something to do or something that's relevant, certainly to whatever unit we're doing, as well as the competencies. So 2-minute neuroscience, you could watch a 2-minute video on the basics of neuroscience. You can watch this one's maybe a little longer, 6 or 8 minutes on pain. This is a little kind of a dissection and discussion on the basic structures of the nervous system. So they're all wonderful. So you can watch all of them or any of them and comment on one. It's up to you. Just make sure you comment on at least one of them. Now, this first one is actually a link to a website that kind of goes through an overview of the nervous system in case you forgot some of the stuff from general A&P. And the other thing is too, you can scroll over, there's some other info. Myasthenia gravis, this might have to do with your case study. So you might find some case study info videos in here. So anyway, this is your Padlet. Okay, I put, and I'll circle back to that in a second. We're going to keep going. So that's it in the kind of the general get you started in Blackboard and in the course stuff. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is go to the how-to videos, and I have a how to use Padlet YouTube video that I made. You get to see this mug and listen to this more, but they're short. They're 5 minutes long on how to use Padlet, how to do case studies, how to get started with labs. Okay, and then lastly, how to take exams. So remember, these are the 4 things you have to do. This is little videos on how to do those if you're unsure. We do have a course YouTube playlist. So there's another link. I just clicked that. It took us right out into our course YouTube playlist. This video that you're watching can also be found in the course YouTube playlist. Here we go. So you'll have an intro video. How to save a Google Doc as a Word doc, as I mentioned earlier. Then here are those how-to videos, how to use Padlets, how to take exams, etc. And then all of your lecture videos are in here, competency 1/unit 1, and so on. Okay, so these are your lecture videos. Okay, so there should have 12. First unit is 2 videos, so 13 technically, but anyway, 12 competencies. And there are your videos for those. And then I also have some videos where I discuss the case studies a little bit, the specifics of the case studies. Now, these are a little older videos, so they have something we used to use called PhysioX labs in some of these. So I put the time marker when I talk about the case studies. You are not required, I repeat, not required to do anything with PhysioX. That's an old program. It's not that old, but it's a previous tool that we used for this course. I mean, you're certainly welcome to watch them, but your goal is to get the case studies done. Now, I do have some videos on just the case studies, so you can watch those if you'd like. But again, you can see where it says PhysioX. You don't need to worry about anything with PhysioX. Okay, so the case study discussions are at the very beginning. So you'd watch the beginning, there'll be some case study discussion, same with this one, and so on down the line. Okay, so and then this last video, I talk about the last 4 case studies, 9, 10, 11, and 12, all in one video. Okay, and then there's some EKG stuff in there if you want to look at that. So anyway, course YouTube channel, that's where you want to subscribe to that. So or pin it or whatever. I mean, you don't have to, but you can access it from Blackboard, of course, YouTube channel. And I also have another link. This is called Helpful Web Links. So you can, these are just some of the Padlet videos came from these YouTube channels. These are just really good YouTube channels on anatomy and physiology. So anyway, all of you know Crash Course, I'm sure at this point. Many of you probably have watched the Amoeba Sisters and probably have heard of Khan Academy. We've got a link to the NCLEX review questions, Ninja Nerd, you've maybe heard of. There's some OpenStax physiology lectures playlist. Those are really good as well. They're a little bit slow to some degree, maybe not as to the point as some of the ones I do, but I still have found those to be extremely beneficial. Okay, so anyway, just some other websites you can go to. So that's Helpful Web Links. PowerPoint slides. So I have all of my PowerPoint slides or Google Slides in here as well. These are the same slides that you would see in those videos. So back on the YouTube playlist, you see competency one, nervous system one. I'm going to discuss in that video the slides that you can find here. Okay, so these slides are discussed in the videos. Okay. The other thing too about my slides, I put my speaker notes at the bottom. So you could certainly find on some of these maybe more info about what we're going through. So there's a good example. Here's the slide, and I discussed this, again, in the video, in the lecture video, but underneath the slide, you can see I've got some notes, and those notes, so, some of your exam questions may be from those notes. Speaking of which, so anyway, those are all of your PowerPoint slides. Okay. And then modules and units. This is kind of the all-in-one one-stop shop for the 4 modules that you do. And again, there are going to be 3 units or competencies in each of these modules. So this is where all of your assignment, basically everything over here in Blackboard is also located here. So you certainly can go in here and go through and look at take this out to the YouTube. It takes you right to the YouTube lecture playlist for competency 1, module 1 videos. Okay, so you'll notice it kicked us into a different screen. That's because I have the landing page to be the lecture videos. And then from there, you can go through and do the 4 items for unit 1. So you do the Padlet and the Padlet quiz. So you just hit this little arrow right over here. So it talks about what unit 1 entails. And then you hit the little arrow to go to page 3. So basically have it set up like a book. So you can begin module 1, you can click on there, the nervous system Padlet. They're 10 points a piece. Okay, we've already looked at the nervous system Padlet. And then so there it is. And then once you do one of your comments under one of those videos, then you want to go and take the 1 question Padlet quiz. If it doesn't open automatically, once you click there, you can click here to launch, or you can click here to launch. Again, it's the 1 question survey. I'll show you the first one. This is all it is. That's it, 1 question. The Padlet videos and websites were beneficial to your understanding of nervous system concepts. Do you strongly agree with that? Agree? Neither do you agree or disagree, and so on. And what is Padlet? So hopefully you don't click that if you've gotten here. So, but anyway, then hit save and submit, and you're done with the Padlet. You have 12 of those to do. Some students do all 12 of those in the first couple of weeks and knock them out. Okay. Yeah, however you want to do it. Or you can go in this order that I have here. Next up is the comprehend section, and comprehend is going to have to do with case studies. So here's your first case study, And again, you're going to see due dates on here. They don't apply to us. Our due date is all the way at the end of the semester. So I'll go in. I'm not sure why that's showing up, but I'll make sure that that's gone by the time you're in here. So you're going to click to open the case study questions. So these are the questions that you're going to answer. This is what you submit. We don't do anything with the diagnostic table. You can, I put one in here. You can open it and take a look at it. But again, we're not going to do anything with this diagnostic table. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that. Anywhere where it asks about diagnostic table, you don't have to do anything with it. Okay. So anyway, here are your questions for the case study. Now, where's the case study? Well, I'll show you there in a minute. But remember, these are read only, because when you get this, you can only read this. So you're going to want to hit file and then either download to a Word document. So then you'll have your own Microsoft Word doc done. Just type into that and then drop that in the Dropbox. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. Okay. All right, so where's the case study PBF? It says located above. Well, the case study is actually right here. It says neural disease PDF. So we click that and it'll pull up the actual case study. So you can read, this is what you're going to read through. The questions are the same questions that you see in here that you're going to type out. Okay, so as you read through, you want to answer the questions in your Word document. Okay. So anyway, that's how you get through each module. Now labs. Oh, and then I have all of the OpenStax PowerPoints. Again, these aren't the ones I use specifically, but if you use the OpenStax text for any reason, you can access the PowerPoints from there if you'd like. And again, I have them in PDF or in PowerPoint form. It says physics, but you and I know that this isn't physics. But anyway, here they're very basic. They're mostly the images that are already in OpenStax. So most students don't really use those. They use the slides that I provide, but if you need them, you can certainly access them that way. And then in the practice area, there's a Quizlet link. Again, this is just for your own use. You don't have to do anything with Quizlet if you've never used Quizlet. And again, I have these set up to go specifically to whatever the unit is. So you can set up quizzes, exams, study note cards. So anyway, Quizlet is something that some students find very useful. All right, then we go to the labs. And again, you'll have wanted to, you can click that. It should take you, there it goes, goes through some hoops, and then you'll eventually get to your McGraw-Hill lab activity, and there it is. So, so anyway, all your McGraw-Hill stuff is linked through Blackboard. So that's kind of nice as well. All right. Now, if you find practice, two more things. One last thing under practice. So there's the Quizlet that I mentioned. I do have exam review question link as well. So this is the test bank for each of your exams. So all of your exam review questions, these are the questions from the test bank. So you can go through and answer these before you take the exam if you'd like. Again, this particular one, the nervous system, is pretty long. It's a couple hundred questions. Again, your exams are only 40 questions. So this random 40 questions will show up on your exam. You can take your exams as many times as you want. But anyway, some students go through and watch my lecture videos. They go through the PowerPoints. They look through the exam review questions, they Google them, they look through their OpenStacks, however they can, they get all these going. Then they take the exam and they can, you're ready for it. That's just a suggestion. You can do it however you want. And then lastly, for each unit, you're going to have a unit exam. So you click exam on, and again, I want to reiterate that all of the stuff I'm doing is under modules and units. Now, if it seems kind of clunky trying to access all of this stuff, you can also access it, and I have the hyperlinks over here. That's how most students approach navigating the course. But I do wanted to show you this modules and units is how I set it up, more or less to be a virtual book of the course. And then I took the different sections of the book and put them along the side here so you can access them easier that way. So anyway, exam, here's your exam one. I don't think it might have launched. It did launch. So again, it says a time limit of 2 hours, but remember that 2 hours, you can go past that. It won't lock you out at 2 hours, but you do have to say yes, you want to continue if you get to that point. Penalty free, no penalties. All right, just hit begin whenever you're ready. Again, you have unlimited attempts, keeps your highest score, and it's going to show you 40 questions. You can go through, and again, these are the same questions that you would find in the test bank. So if you've gone through and reviewed your questions, you can answer these and you should be fine. And that's it. You got to do this 12 times. So let me show you lastly, and then that'll be that. So that's under models, so along the side is where all of these hyperlinks are. So Padlet, these will take you right to the Padlet one nervous system. And then click Padlet one nervous system quiz. Okay, done. All of them are on here. Okay. It's case studies. Same thing, case study one, neural disorders. Click that. It's going to show you the case study and the exact same thing we saw earlier. It's a hyperlink over to here. And again, the case studies down here, neural disease PDF is the case study, and these are where the questions are located. Okay. Exam review questions. All of the hyperlinks to the exam review questions are in here as well. I have them in Google Doc form as well as Word doc, so you can access all 12 of those. And then the labs, if you click labs, again, it has the hyperlinks for each of the labs that you're going to do. And what do the labs look like? Let me see if I've got one. Anyhow, the labs are very straightforward. They're very simple as far as navigating and maneuvering. The way they're set up, you follow the directions that are given, and it basically won't let you continue the lab unless you've done the step that it's asking you to do. So pretty much all of you will get 100% on your labs if you do them. If you're having any issues with a lab or it's kind of acting funny, just let me know and we'll get it figured out. But like I say, all the labs are pretty straightforward. All right, and then once you finish the lab, it'll automatically input your score into Blackboard. Same with your exams. All of your stuff as far as grades go gets put automatically into Blackboard gradebook once you complete it, except for the case studies. Those are the only things that I go in and I specifically grade and input your grades for those. Okay, which takes you to my grades. So you click my grades and it has all 1,200 items that or 1,200 points in here, and then all of your items. So it has all the Padlets and then all the case studies, and so on and so forth. It's exams and the labs. And this, even if you ever see this along the side, it just means I need to grade it. Okay. So if you see this, you'll have, if you don't see this anymore, you'll see a score. And then you might see like a little comment icon. Click that comment icon, and then I'll usually have comments for your case studies. Okay. So that's pretty much it as far as it goes. Again, if you need to email me through Blackboard or you need to email any of your classmates, you can click that. And you can click all student users or all instructor users or just all users. And from there, you can, if you click all users, you can email the entire class. I don't, in all the years I've done Blackboard, I don't know if anybody's ever done that. But if you want to select users, you can hit select users, and then you can, go down the line and click Kevin Yoakum. If you want to, if you met a student, you need to email them. If you're working on a project or whatever, that's how a way that you can email one another. And that's pretty much it. Again, if you have questions, email me. If we need to meet in Zoom, we can meet in Zoom. The course, again, stay on top of everything and get it done. And you have basically till December 9th to get everything submitted, and then put the grades in, and you're good to go. All right. Have a good one, and I'll see you hopefully next week on Wednesday. And if not, that's okay too. Just send me an email and let me know that you're planning on doing the course and you watched the video and you understand what's going on.